Hey everybody, thanks for coming back to my channel. I just wanted to start out today by saying again that I'm not a medical professional and I'm not providing medical advice. I'm just a breast cancer survivor who wants to share the tips that I found helpful while going through my treatments and my cancer journey. I also did want to say that I apologize for leaving males out when I talked about the warriors fighting against breast cancer. I know men can get breast cancer as well, so my apologies for leaving you out. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my diagnosis, how I reacted to that, and the reaction of those around me. I was surprised to learn that not all reactions are positive. Some people are going to spring right into action to help you, and others will not. I will also be sharing tips with you to help you during this time to be a little more prepared than I was during this stage. So I'm going to start out with reactions of myself and those around me, and then I'm going to talk about my diagnosis further into the episode. So if you're only interested in that, you're welcome to skip ahead, but I would encourage you to watch most of the video, because the earlier part of the video I'm going to cover something that you probably haven't heard of. So stick around and we'll see. So my initial reactions were shock and fear, obviously. Again, I was also a little bit dazed because I didn't want to believe that it was real. It just didn't feel real to me. Like, again, how did I have cancer? I never thought it would happen to me. And then my reactions quickly changed to anger and resentment. So the anger was more like, why me? How did I get this? Like just frustration. And then the resentful part came in because I felt like it was going to be such an inconvenience. I had to worry about my job. How is this going to fit in? And I'm going to be sick through my treatments, even though I feel just fine right now. So I was super resentful that this was going to come in and totally upend my life and cause me to feel terrible. I was actually really surprised at this reaction. I just assumed that I'd be scared, I'd be sad, have anxiety. I did have anxiety, of course, because that comes along with it. You're going to be going through a lot and you don't know what to expect. But the other feelings, I definitely was not expecting them. Your feelings and reactions during this time may surprise you. I know mine did. And you may feel things that you weren't expecting. But I would say don't be too hard on yourself. Everyone's reactions are going to be different to this. Everyone deals with crisis or stress differently. So any reactions that you have are normal for you. And don't let anyone tell you that they're not. You have the right to feel whatever it is you're feeling, whether it's some of the same feelings I was feeling or other stuff. You're entitled to those feelings. Those are normal for you. So don't let anyone tell you that they aren't. At this point, I also was hesitant to tell people about the fact that I had cancer because I wasn't sure how they were going to react. And this included my family members. I wasn't sure that they'd be able to be there for me if I did tell them. And I know that cancer sometimes can be a dividing event. Sometimes it's going to bring people much closer to you and they're all going to rally around you to help you and take care of you. But other people may not be there. It can drive some people away. So that was why I decided not to tell the rest of my family at this point, because I was scared of how they would react. It was also during this time that I found out about something that I had never heard of before, but apparently it's pretty common. It's called cancer ghosting. So basically, I'm sure a lot of you know what ghosting means. You just stop communicating with someone. You don't answer their calls or texts. You don't respond to any posts or anything that this person makes. So this happened, I wasn't expecting it to happen when a cancer diagnosis happens. And this wasn't just anybody. This was my best friend that I had been friends with since we were teenagers. And when I tried to reach out to her to tell her about my diagnosis and that I really needed to talk with her, I just got radio silence. She completely ghosted me. And sorry, it's a little bit painful to still talk about, but basically she just dropped off the face of the earth to me. And I was really shocked by this because I didn't know people would do this to someone who's going through cancer. I wasn't expecting this at all. It blindsided me. And not only that, it broke my heart because we had been friends, like I said, since we were teenagers, and had been there for each other through very difficult times over the years. So I just couldn't understand how she could do it, but I needed to focus my energy on what was to come, which would be treatment, surgery, that sort of thing. So I kind of had to put it to like the back of my mind. But I did just want to share that with everyone that, it is possible that this could happen, and it could even be family members. It's not necessarily just friends. Your family members might not be able to be there for you. Sometimes it's because they don't want to watch you going through it. Sometimes it's just that they don't know what to say or what to do. I would encourage you to try not to focus on it as hard as it is. You'll be able to sort through those feelings a little bit later on, but you need to save all your energy for moving forward in your treatment. But I just wanted to let you know that that is a thing that can happen to you, and it did happen to me. But I just tried to focus on myself and what was to come rather than focusing on that. I also found the reactions of people in general were very all over the place. It was either they give you the pity face, like, like, I'm sorry, oh, I'm so sorry. And then you would also get the face that, almost disgust, like they think you have some horrible disease that they're going to catch from you, so they don't really want to be around you. And then there's people who basically will change the subject right away because, oh, I don't want to talk about this, or I'm uncomfortable talking about this, so they will kind of same thing, not really engage on that topic with you. So it is really hard to tell other people because there are going to be some reactions that are going to be uncomfortable for you, not only them. And you think, I'm the one that's going through this. Why are people reacting this way? But we live in a society where we don't really talk about illness, and we kind of just push it under the rug, or we change the subject. So don't be surprised if, the reactions aren't what you thought they were going to be, even, like I said, from the people that you think are going to be there for you. They're all normal reactions, I guess, but it still hurts and is hard for you as the person going through it when you get these reactions from people. I also, partially for this reason, did not want to tell the people that I work with. I was worried about their reactions, but I was also worried about my job. I know it sounds silly to some that I would be scared to lose my job just because I have cancer, but I was going to be going through treatments. I didn't have a timeline for how long this was going to take or how long I would need off work. So I tried to keep it private. But right before I was going to start my treatments, I did decide to tell a few select people that I worked with closely and my manager, just so that they would know, because things were going to start changing with my appearance and also my health. I may not be able to be at work all the time. So I eventually did tell them, but it was really difficult for me because I was scared of what was going to happen. After these initial reactions that I had and the shock kind of I don't want to say wore off, but became a little bit less to where I could think a little bit more, I decided to ask my family doctor for what the biopsy results said exactly. I wanted to know what kind of breast cancer it was. I wanted to know what stage, all that sort of thing. So I asked her so that I could educate myself as much as possible, and I could kind of feel a little more ready for what was to come, because maybe there'd be a little less, surprises coming up. So I asked for that information, and she told me that I had triple negative breast cancer, and it was a stage 2 at that point. And so I decided to take that information and do some research on my own. And through that research, I did learn that this type of cancer, triple negative, does not have any of the hormone receptors. So progesterone or estrogen, and they are called ER or PR in the diagnosis. And there's also a protein that some breast cancers will make, but triple negative also is HER2 negative, which is the type of protein. So that's why my type of cancer was called triple negative. I also found out that triple negative cancer it accounts for about 15% of all breast cancers, but it is it is the most aggressive, fast-growing type of tumor. It has a greater chance of having spread by the time they find it, and it also is harder to treat because it doesn't have those hormone receptors, so they can't do anything sort of. There are treatments, but they can't. It's not as treatable as other types of cancers. So I just obviously I was scared by a lot of this information that I was reading through my research, but I felt like at least I kind of had a little bit more knowledge going into the treatment planning phase, which I will talk in the next episode about. For me, my first treatment was going to be chemo. So I'm going to be talking about that and the treatment planning phase in the next episode, but I felt like at least I was a little bit more knowledgeable going into this next stage to be able to make decisions. And, knowing this was a fast-growing, aggressive type of cancer, I knew that I would probably have to make decisions a little more quickly than maybe others would. If you have like a slower growing tumor, you may have a little more time to think things through, but I really kind of felt with the information that I got that I would need to act pretty quickly. So again, I will talk about that a little bit more in the next episode. On that note, I will end the episode, but before I go, my suggestion to you is to find out everything you can about your diagnosis once the biopsy results are in. You should ask about what type of breast cancer it is, because there are many different types. There are different variants within certain types, like triple negative is an invasive ductal carcinoma, but there are other types of invasive ductal carcinomas. So it's good to find out exactly what type it is, what stage it's at, and the cell type or grade. That's also kind of important, but definitely the type of cancer and the stage that it's at, and then whether it's ER, PR negative positive, HER2 positive negative. There's lots of different variants. So just ask your doctor about all of that information and ask maybe whether or not it's aggressive or more slower growing. Because again, like I said, it may give you a little bit more insight into sort of how quickly you're going to have to make decisions about your treatments. So that's all valuable information, and this is the information that's going to help the doctors form your treatment plan. So at least you will be a little less surprised when they start talking to you about some of the treatments that they're recommending. You'll kind of know why. So this is why I recommend finding out all this information. If you're not comfortable or it's too hard for you to do it, I totally get that. Maybe a friend or family member could get those results for you and kind of go over it with you, just so that everyone knows what to expect. So that's just something that I would definitely suggest at this phase. It will help you in the long run. So, and I will post a couple of links down in the description section of websites that you can go to check out to see your type of cancer and what you need to know about it. And there are many websites out there, but I thought I would post a few just so that you have somewhere to start once you find out what kind and stage, all that sort. So anyways, I just wanted to say thanks for watching today. I hope that you took away something valuable from this video to help you through this stage. I know that the road seems long and bumpy, but keep your head up. I know that you can do this. You will find the strength to get through this. If you liked this video, please hit that like button. And if you aren't already a subscriber, what are you waiting for? Hit that pink subscribe button down at the bottom. Next episode, we will be talking about decisions around treatment planning and what that looked like for me, what tips I have for you to arm yourself with during this next phase. Stay strong, warriors, and I'll see you next time.